Morning, guys. From the accent, I'm back. Thanks, Marnie. Yeah, I thought it was me. Okay. She's a voice, etc. I got a bad dose of flu on Saturday, and it takes like 2 months to get over it. Hang on, background there. Can just mute whoever that is, please. Said about 2 weeks to get over it fully. It's on Saturday, and it's not a cough or a sniffle. It's actually flu where you're shivering, can't move. And the worst it seems to have got out of the way now. A bit gravelly voiced, etc. But at least I can do a trading room. That's why I didn't do it yesterday or the day before. I was back on Monday. There you know. Okay, guys. Anyway, we went well as our way. I was down in the south coast. I didn't really keep that much on. I was taking a break actually. Things went all right. I trust you all enjoyed the trading room when I was away, and hope it was everything okay. Anna Marie, yeah. You have to mute everybody. It's background noise where it's coming from. Well, obviously I'll mute later on if you just remind me. So did last week go all right? Did presume that it went okay yet last week? Everything good? Okay, so we're okay, good. Wait a moment, we'll start. Yes, we did. Got the TP nicely, Hayden Barney. Yeah, the first day. Yeah, it doesn't always happen that way. To be honest, a little bit of help from the New Zealand government. Bit of a fundy came out, and that really did pull it through. So it was a little bit of luck, let's be honest. That's why we moan enough if it goes wrong. It's a bit of our fault. I think if it goes right, sometimes you say, yeah, a little bit of luck helped in that case. I think the Swiss franc was sent out as well, and that didn't do too badly. Shorter term one hit the TP. As I bet, yeah. Yeah, stock price start. This one's sent out this morning. I think it's a bit late getting it sent out. That's the problem, because the price I wanted to go in at was 1.1233. And I think it was sent out a little bit on the late side. So I think some guys might have maybe put a sell limit in and might have just missed it. Pity if you did, because clearly it's not doing too bad. It's going to break through the 1.12 to progress. But yeah, it's not going too badly if you manage to get it all right. Okay, yeah. Just say I'm probably a bit slow. I'm still recovering it a bit and being a bit out of touch. Just we kept a little bit around with things, but I was taking a bit of a break. I can see a bit of a cough comes in after the flu bout. Thanks, Mark. So stretch the voice a bit, but the shivering and the rest of it moving sort of virtually incapacitated. At least if that's over. It's not strong, but apparently it'll take a week or two, and then it will, at least a week or so, and that'll be 100% again. That's fine. Okay. Shoot, not so good. As regards this trade, clearly don't join it now. If you're on board, great. If you're not, well, you put a sell limit in or whatever, but you can't join it now. It's 30 pips in profit, or just under, basically. So it's too far away to join now. But if any of you did get it. Yeah, I've been bad at load shedding recently. Yeah. Thank you, Brian. Yeah. is in hospital, but as far as I know, it's slightly on the recovery, but just getting decent medical service. So I think it's okay. Yeah. So yeah, going back to that. So Clinton's payment, well, yeah, Justin's the name. So seems to be okay. Last we spoke, he wasn't in the meeting this morning, obviously attending hospital. So I only spoke to him yesterday, and he seemed to be okay with it. Put it that way. Any more details on that? But thanks for asking. Hey, hi, thanks, Gerard. Yeah, unfortunately, the ship sails. A bit of a pity. It's a bit late getting out that. I think hopefully going to next week or so, we might get stuff adjusted on that, because it's no good having a single sent out, you know, and ship sail. That's no bloody good at all. Because you can see why I came up with this thing. I'll show you there. It went right up to this area here, and that's why I said the time to get in. The stop clearly on the. I put the stop originally above the weekly, just above here, not using the daily, so it was back up here somewhere. Got a decent risk reward and getting in there, seemed to hold and seemed to work out. It's back in the break through the round figure. It might recover, but we shall see. But let's say don't chase it now. Companies you've got to sell it, it might trigger it, it might not. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's a bit of a pity. That's fair enough. You put a sell in, it's a bit of a pity, yeah. We'll see if it gets back there. Just have to hang on. If it breaks 1.12, I doubt we're going to see that getting back in there. So it'll be, anyway, one of those things. Okay. AUD JPY. Let's have a look at this one. You're looking for a sell on this one. Yeah, I personally tend to agree on this without going too much into the technical detail. I'm just thinking purely the fact I think the Japanese yen is a little bit undervalued at the moment. I think I see it's quite a stable currency, and I think it's quite a good economic guy at the helm. I forget his name. I'm not good with names, I'm afraid. John and Mary, I can remember. But like I say, for that reason alone, I quite like it. Aussie, like the New Zealand, battling a bit, and they expected more of an economic hawkish stance in New Zealand this morning with the interest rate 0.25% increase, and it didn't occur. And they reckon the economy needs it there, so that ended up disappointing on the New Zealand dollar and weakened it quite a bit, which good for yesterday's trade. To get that. Having said that, I still think the Japanese yen is a bit undervalued. I think it might get a bit of strength in there, which means if you're selling this, you're buying the yen, which is good news. So yeah, so yes, I tend to agree with you. Now let's see if we can find an entry for that. Get these guys in. We can certainly do that, Cecil. Just do this first. So entry. Now it's a bit of it's a bit of support here, and let's go to the 15-minute. Is it going to get any jump on that basis? Am I being a little bit overcautious here? I do like it, by the way. I'm just hoping maybe get a profit-taking bounce from a little bit of support level or resistance levels there. To maybe this level, something like that, for a sell down. Maybe I'm a bit cautious, but I think personally, Gerard, maybe might be get a bit of a better price on it. But then, do you think I'm being overcautious here? I'd like your opinion. But I agree with the sell, by the way. I'm not arguing about that. Let's see what about the stop even going here. What about here clearly? Quite a long stop. I'm just wondering if we can't get a slightly better price. Seems that maybe we can get a bit of a better price. What do you guys think? Morning, guys. You can see, throaty or not, just getting over the flu. I'm back. At least I'm not shivering. I was just about bedridden the last couple of days. At least the flu tablets and all the rest of the crap are bunged in. Not the drugs, the drugs are bunged into. Legal ones, over the counter, not prescription like that. See if you come up higher, just a bit gravelly voiced and a little bit of a coughing now and again, but otherwise I'm on the recovery, which is good. So I'm more compos mentis. Wouldn't do much sense out of me yesterday, unfortunately. But yeah, so yeah, can we get a better price, or should we say sod it? Let's go for it. I do quite like it. Oh yeah, that's right. The body's pretty good. We get all these drugs, etc. But rest and let the body do its thing. It survived without modern medicine for thousands of years, so. The body's not a bad thing, and often find after these pills help matters, but it often pharmaceutical profits. But I'm kind of them. Often just simply the body will do go it, and the rest itself. Yeah, agreed. Anyway, back on this. Yeah, it's not really getting a better price. It'd be a wide stop. That's my only hassle. That's not going to be good enough, unfortunately. We'll have to take it to here. 90, and we need to be step. Even that's not going to work. Just manage it there. We tried anyway. Just give me a second. I'll look at the chat line in a minute. I'm looking at the other screen, the charts. Short. We might just squeeze it down to here. 89.63. It's really scratching it. I do like it. Yeah. Well, that wasn't that because definitely had the shivers. I was shivering up, eating blanket on half a dozen people. So that was definitely flu. Called off somebody else down on the south coast where I was. Not a lovely person, don't get me wrong, but she caught it, and at the time we knew it. Then of course, because you know, not calling off her. Hi, Mark Farney. Yeah. Well, I've got all these vaccinations. I think it was going to get COVID. That's what we got it by now. What the hell's Delta? Oh, the Delta variant, beg your pardons. Okay. Okay, but yeah, what do you think, guys? Better price? A better price. Okay, I'll wait on that. If we miss it, we miss it. It's one of those things. It's annoying to miss it. It's annoying even more if you're getting the wrong price, eh? Okay, we'll come back to that then. GBP NZD. We're checking it. What do you want to do with it? Didn't say anything about it. I don't think we should check it again. GBP NZD. What do you want to do with this one, Cecil? You're taking okay, Marnie. Well, a couple of people have taken it, so might as well go back on it then. Put it down for that one there. What was it again? It was what it was now. Should have been cracking up here. Completely forgot what it was now. AUDJPY, that's right. It was 10, wasn't it? 91.10. Down then through there, she got in it, fair enough. AUDJPY. So put it down because you're waiting for it, that's fine. 91.10. And it was, what was the stop loss here, wasn't it? I couldn't remember 2. And what was the TP down here somewhere? 89.63. Okay, fair enough. So okay, GBP NZD. Okay. Not really Gerard, no, the spreads are far too wide. And I don't know much capital you got. The deposit's much, much higher. It's an exotic. Anything could happen. I think the Tsar should be a little bit careful of. It's clearly been weak lately, mainly because of the, quite frankly, a little bit ridiculous gun shipment to Russia. I think that's a bit ridiculous. It's a bit on the senseless side. I don't be rude, but what the hell does Russia want with guns from us? Sure, they got better areas to get them. I mean, we can't produce electricity now, don't we? Seems a bit bloody crazy, that. Came out from an American ambassador, did his name now. Came up, was not, and he admitted after it was unsubstantiated. What difference is going to make there war any guns we do have? You know what I mean? We can't even fill a pothole. They only come to us for bloody guns. Things might not work. Sorry, but you know what I mean? You certainly missed the bus on that one, Peter. Unfortunately, on the GBP CHF. Okay, you wanted to go for a sell. I'm not sure why you want to go for a sell on it. It's looking pretty strong at the moment. New Zealand dollar, because it's weak due to the funding I mentioned earlier on this morning, might still get more upside. It might be worth looking at up at this sort of level if it gets there, but I think it'd be a little bit setting it right now, to be honest. But I see what you're thinking. It's jumped up so much, maybe some profit taking since yesterday. It's jumped up 550. There's going to be some profit taking, so no doubt about it. I see the sense of what you're trying to say. I'm just wondering, will it be enough to initiate a trade? That's my thinking. On the out chart, that's obviously the funding release. Is it enough to initiate a trade? Not too sure on that, to be honest. In some what we call technical damage, that was gone down to the buy zone. Although I have to say again, enormous amount of welfare expenses they have in the UK. I think they're coping that well either. So I'm not sure the pound is that great. So, but I think I think we've jumped the gun a bit. Let's jump in for sell now. Might be a bit of pullback. I'm not sure the extent of it is, but I take your point. I personally just hang 5 on that for the moment. It's consolidate a bit. It might come out ahead. I think a bit of profit taking has been done already. I'm not sure it's going to continue down. I might hold sideways, might have another leg up. We'll see. Okay, I think probably best leave that one. Okay. Okay, GBP CHF, God, that's definitely so. Just to apologize to the guys that come send out a bit on the slow side there. I'm going to try and force a change or two on that coming through, but it's a pity because I say I managed to get in all right, as you can see, just to show off here. So I even reduced my stop loss and stop loss over here. We reduced that. So I got in here, as you can see, that was the idea. But by the time the damn thing was sent out, I think you missed it. Bloody irritating that. So yeah, I'm telling you what, yeah, I think that's definitely so. And the way it's moving at the moment, I think even the sell limit might as well leave it on what, I know it's going to get filled. Bloody pity. Gold, I've been thinking about that quite a bit this morning. It's not a say on this. I'll tell you what my thinking and feeling is upside, because I presume you're thinking the same. Gerard, I'm not looking for downside, I'm looking for upside. I'm not sure that this dollar strength is going to continue. The fussing about this debt limit, which I think is going to have to come in. They've got to raise that limit. There's no ways they cannot raise the limit. But I take entirely what McCarthy, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and now the Speaker of the House, because they've got the majority in the House since the last mini election, should we say, midterms or whatever it is. And he's trying to say, for God's sake, we'll do it. But I mean, bring your spending down and buy point bank and fuses. Now, what do I mean by that? Do you mean I'm insensitive and caring about the people over there? Well, it's not really the point. The point is, I want to give everyone here $100 an hour instead of 25, whatever it is. But where's it going to come from? And they're spending money, it's not theirs. That's the problem. It's getting out of hand. And Biden refuses to actually tack down the spending. It's a bit like having a prodigal son who keeps bumming off you, the lovely parents. You love him very much. And he said, yeah, we'll help you out, but you've got to cut back your spending. This is, your allowance is not there to cover you for free for all the time. Start getting more responsible with your spending, son, and I'll increase your allowance. That's all they're saying. A lot of us do the debt ceiling talk as well. Yeah, didn't follow it too much last week, but definitely a couple I think came right. Anyway, whatever, that was now. This is now anyway. Now I see some upside, but I'm not that confident on it, to be honest. As I say, till we get some more clarity on the debt ceiling, I think it's going to be a little bit sideways. So I wouldn't be too keen to jump into gold as yet. The problems we might miss the sodding boat, because I personally think that debt ceiling is going to have to be raised. It has to be. The potential of not raising is too horrendous to contemplate. So you're going to have to do it. So I think it'd be highly aggressive to take it now in preference, in expectation of that. At the same time, if it does come through, they're going to raise it. It could jump a bit. I don't know. I do personally think that I see upside, but I'm not sure I'm confident enough to jump in just yet. As you can see, the indecision candles there are quite obvious. Quite obvious, you know what I mean? I think it's rather a little bit more conservative. Yeah, well, I don't know what they had to sell at. I think they had to sell out for that last week, and Fred didn't agree. One of my clients called me up and said, I've been okay with it. What do I think? So far for me to go against what the company sends out. But I wasn't keen. And anyway, we've got to trade out one of mine actually, because I'm still in the damn thing. We've got to trade out before I left a couple of weeks ago on a long, it's now in profit. Now to join it now, more on the daily, might get a bit of resistance. That's only 80 cents away. I think that's something if you join. I forgot what I went in on. I went on this level here. Obviously, I moved the stop above my entry. So I got in at 71.30. So I just moved the stop into profit, letting it run. But as for joining it now, I'm not too sure about that. I think if you're not on board, I think leave it. I'm not sure either. 960 I'd have been happy with. If you've gone around at the 1950, 1960 mark, that would have been different. I would have been happy with that. But I think I'd leave the gold for a moment. Yeah, WTI, yeah, finally, I think I would not too keen on chasing it now. Yeah. It is crabbing, yeah. It's crabbing at the moment, yeah. And WTI, I think just you see, it's a resistance at the moment, seems to be holding, waiting in a target. It's got to break through that. It's got to break through that to make it worth your while. You've got to aim up there to make it worth your while. That's only $6. So you're doing that $3-4 stop. Yeah, you could probably do it. No, you wouldn't be able to do that. Probably do about there for your stop. If you think it's going to get there, it might do, but I'm not so confident. It's got to break this guy and this guy and this guy here to get up there to make it worth your while. There's too many hurdles. On 1 hour, what's on this one on 1 hour? Yeah, as well as you're talking about GI, yeah, we kept chasing now and then. GBP JPY from buy. I'm not sure I want to be 70 yen at the moment, we'll see. It's clear in the buy zone. That's completely straightforward. That Ibrahim, I agree with you on that. It's come down the bottom of some sort of a range. If you're using the body as a support area, sort of not much in one, little bit of support around here. I'll give you a view on that one. It could get some more up movement, but I just think the Japanese yen's a bit oversold. I think it could strengthen up. Clearly, technically, it's a buy. I agree with you, but I'm not sure I'd be joining here. I think it's a little bit late on that one. Yeah, look at that indecision coming on the weekly. See, sellers are coming in. It's not really broken out in the weekly in this one. I think it's buying at the top, or I'll have a breakout or a pullback. But I think the Japanese yen might get some strength. I'm sort of leaning more towards some downside here, to be honest. But I can't back that up technically. That's the problem, if you see my point. Okay, I'll look at that in a minute. Morris, just want to finish off that. Anybody other opinions on that? Anybody agree, disagree? Anybody opinions on that one? On the pound Japanese yen? After what I mentioned? You agree with me, or do you think you're going for? You agree? Okay. As I say, I can't back it up technically, but it's going to come off. And look at it, 172 is the round figure holding. I think it's going to be downside here, personally. Okay, thanks, guys. Okay, and we'll move on. Euro CAD for a buy. I think you've given some bloody stress lately. I think that's way undervalued. I think it's setting up for a buy. I'd like to see a bit of confirmation on that, but I tend to agree. Where's it 200? Down here, yeah. Yeah, it's just holding there at the moment. Yeah, I think you could get some strength coming to the euro. I agree, but I'm not. I don't think I'd go in now. There's no confirmation there. 46.29. Yeah, if it breaks those guys, yeah, then I agree. Not now, but then I agree with you, Morris. Yeah. Okay, so we'll hang 5 on that one for the moment. AUD CAD for a short. I think I'm in this one, haven't I? Yeah, I've already got a short there, so my stop is way below. It's still going down. So clearly I agree with the short because I remember that thing. It's right in around figure 89. Is it going to break further down? It's got the potential. Got the potential. Do you not feel you might be chasing it a bit here? Do you think that's a good enough breakthrough to join it now, or do you think you might get a better price? 88.56. Oh, down here somewhere is a breakthrough. Yeah, if you break through down there, probably get something there, yeah. Or alternatively, a pullback and sell it down. It pulls back to here. 89.52. It pulls back to 89.52. Definitely looking for a sell. Okay, then I agree again. Okay, I agree on that. Yeah. Okay, good enough. Dollar CAD. And if anyone disagrees, I'll go back to it. Pleasure. The dollar CAD, you're looking for question mark. What your question is, what about it? Do you think you should leave it alone, buy it, or sell it? What do you want to do with it? Jose? That's a weekly, I've just remembered. Yeah, you want to buy it. Not too sure about that. I think it's more might be a bit of downside here, actually. Got right up to resistance there on the daily, the 4 hour. Right, resistance on the 4 hour. And quite a big jump there. Is that going to be maintained? Have to see. Maybe some fundamental to push it through. For the moment, quite a bit of resistance at this level here. Think you'd be joining a little bit late here. This is something you wouldn't be buying down here. You know what I mean? Break it back here would have been the time to buy it. And I should be buying here now. If anything, it could get a bit of a pullback here. EuroCAD. Well, we haven't got into it. So you're talking about that buy stop or something. Too so. But yeah, I'm not sure I'll be chasing it here as a. Anyone feel they see it's in the buy zone to get that? Do you think it's okay to chase here, or do you think we should wait a bit? I'm with you on that one, Anna Marie, clearly. EJS. You talked about that last week, by the way, EJS. Too far. 36 pips. I think that ship sailed. Okay. You did. Did you find anything worthwhile in EJS last week then? Talk about it. Now listen a moment. Okay, you do, I'll unmute you. You want to chat about it? So I forgot to mute you. There's a bit of background noise. Was you doing that? Look at this dollar yen. Look, as it comes off, the bars are coming. I'll give you a view on that. A quick go to the weekly, the daily. I'm not sure it's going to sustain that move upwards, to be honest. Okay, not a problem, fine. Okay. I put it on the hourly there, and that's surprising as it came off a bit and then it bounced up again. I'm not sure it's going to be sustained. I'm actually thinking I might get some downside here. As I mentioned a few times this morning already, I think the Japanese is undervalued or oversold, and I think the dollar's a little bit overbought. Yeah, it's indecision at the moment. I can't justify it as a short. Clearly, I can't do that. Technically speaking, that would be a bad piece of advice. But I'm just telling my gut feeling that's overcooked. I think we could get a pullback. But that's not trading advice. I'm just giving my particular opinion. I can't put down their gut feeling of rods to suggest you sell it. That's not going to cut it. It's not scientific enough, but I'm just sharing it with you anyway. I can see some downside in there. But yeah. Okay, so we'll leave that for the moment unless you want to do it. Anyone want to buy and sell it? Just let me know. We'll go and look at it again. Let's have a look at the NAS. The NAS got seriously overcooked. Really shouldn't be. I didn't expect to see those items. I was pretty sure that 13.5, 13.6 area would hold. Look, it went up to nearly 14,000 at one stage. That did surprise me a little bit. That's over the last couple of days since I've been back. Well, not very compass mentors, I might add. But yeah, the moment I'm not keen on it at all. But if I see this getting in here, I think 40,000. I'll start to sell it. But I'm not sure I'll be chasing again now. Got hurt a little bit last time around, so maybe just keep an eye on that. Okay, fair enough. You have to go. You have to go.
Hi, Raj. I see the CPI figures for South Africa came out month on month, 0.4 instead of 0.5.
Yeah, and the core came out not exactly the same. So the difference was very small. Slightly less inflationary, to have an effect on the rand, by the way. Slightly inflationary, should be a little bit on the strength side. Yeah, a little bit of strength on the rand, no surprise there. Yep, so there it is. Still wouldn't touch it. Chasing it now for selling the, buying it and selling the rand. I think the ship might have sold. I think that's built in. Would it get much recovery? I don't see any out there that's getting out much recovery. I think we'll settle down about arms shipment to Russia. I don't mean we laugh, that does. We'll sort of blow away. The Eskom debacle is the main thing that's driving at the moment. And until they get, I think it's going to be marching down the street kind of thing that's going to start to get that going. I'm not in favor of riots, but I think it's got the stage. That's what we require. By guys saying it's getting, this is ridiculous. Now it's all right for me. I'm all right, Jack. Decent inverter. It's inconvenient to me, but those guys out there, it's an indescribable impediment. And it looks affecting the water supply horrendously in Amstrad. Every time I watch some overseas news, I get irritated because the incredible fuss they make, in my opinion, about such trivial matters when there's things like Amstrad going on, which is completely unforgivable. And those things I need to keep an eye on and start doing something about. But yeah, water supply, water sewage dumped out there. It's all very well to say electricity, but like before electricity occurred, we survived. But you can't survive without water. That's out of the question. It's impossible. It's life survival. It's dependent on it. So yeah. So Tsar's not out of the woods, but I'd leave it alone for the time being. A little bit of strength. How long it's going to be sustained? That's not in the sell zone, no. It's in the buy zone, but we won't be doing anything with the NAS at the moment. I'm looking to get in again as a sell. I got knocked last time. I'm going to give up on it. I think I get another opportunity, but it's more settling down. Once they've sorted out this debt ceiling thing, and then that's resolved, we can look at doing NAS again, the down on the micros, that is. Okay. Sorry about the gravelly throat, but just a bit of a nuisance, that's all it is. Okay. Always resultant after you've had a bit of flu, you get that gravelly sort of cough thing. It's not whether you smoke or not, apparently. Just anyway. Okay, yeah, so there it is. GBP, yeah, this, yeah. Okay, guys, you might get a bounce here, but your sell limit at 1.1233. I think that's not going to happen now. So sorry about that, you guys. You missed the trade, and I'm a little bit frustrated about that because it was a nice one. You'll be starting to modify the stop now down to break even or better, because it'd be a nice little profit. Yeah, it's entirely getting it out. It moved. It got right up to. I'm quite annoyed actually, for your sake. If it got right up to here and you had to move on it, actually, by the time it was all sent out, it was down here somewhere. Pity. Anyway, these things happen. Okay, no crying over it. Welcome back, Logan. Okay, anyway, yeah, it looks like 1.12 might hold us for 15 minutes. See if that 1.12 holds, get a bit more downside. Okay. Try and move my stop again, I'll do that. Sorry. So just protect myself. So yeah, obviously I got in on the thing, but it was mine. It's a pity that I posted out to get it out. I think they're in a meeting or something. Anyway, whatever. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. So when I looked at it this morning, I thought about that. Actually, good point. Okay, it's a good point to throw about that one. Yeah, that's a good point. That one. Yeah. I had looked at that and I thought, come back to it, and then I picked him right down like a dickhead and forgot about it. Thank you. Someone's alive and awake and remind me for me. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Simple as that. I totally agree with you. Can everyone see what I mean by that? Does anybody think this should be buying this? Anybody out there, from what we've learned here, think this is a buy? You do, you probably do be able to say so, but pretty hinted, but I'm strongly in favor of. Yeah, I think it's a sell. Yeah. No, this is not a buy, no, it's a sell. If the ship hadn't sold, if you're talking about this one, this is written, thank you, Pietro, nicely, the potential offering. A potential offering to take it up here. Take it up here, yeah, take it up there. So that's about 100 pips, maybe 150 or so. That's not going to work, so have a tighter stop. Take it up to here. That's fine. $80 a micro, what a pleasure. Check the weekly. Look at that, the weekly confirms it. For Stellars are coming in. Oh, I like this. Thank you, Nick Pitcher. I like it. No, I think confirmation. I like it. I like it. Okay, just go back there. Anybody agree with me? It's your idea, Pietro. What do you reckon? I like it anyway. I post it through to the company anyway to hopefully send it out to Mars if they do. 99 cent, yeah. Okay, right, put this down. Good stuff. Yeah. Point 785. Point 774. 1.0579. Yeah, I'd like it as well. So I'm just going to put the levels out now. Right, where are we now? One. Just give me a second, guys. Good to put up the levels for the company there. Just getting out to them. Do minutes, so I have to keep playing around the calculator, so it's okay. 65. Seventeen, 60. Yeah. All good. Just let that go. I've got all of them down there. Yeah. No problem. I'm very good. As long as you get the idea and confirmation, it's fine. Because you're learning why, where, and what. Okay, that's fine. Off. Keep going to do it myself now. What was it? Was it $75 a micro? 10 times 2. Okay. Right. Check on goals. Probably still hovering. Hope it is because I said stay aside. Yeah. But I do see upside, but I'm nervous of chasing now, like I mentioned. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, no confirmation. Leave it alone. Okay. But annoying me, this gravelly voice must be annoying you quite a bit. Nasdaq. Yeah, still see downside. I think we'll be a bit more cautious on this one. I leave it for the time being. GBP CHF quieting down a bit, but it's still nice in a profit. Anybody get in on GBP CHF? Well, I suppose you all missed it, hey? Anyone managed to do this? You missed it, Mark. Yeah, I get you did. Anybody managed to get this one? Marnie, did you get it in the end? Oh, you got in late. What price did you get in, Mandler? You did mine. Okay, well, it should both be in profit. The whole time you got in, but it's definitely better than it was a few minutes ago. So at least you're in profit. What price you get in, Mandler? Might be able to modify stops. Tell me what your price is. Your entry. Tap it out quickly. Thank you. 120. Now 30 pips. Yeah, to play safe, it's 30 pips. If you're happy with 30 pips, it's not too close for you. You can modify your stop to break even if you're comfortable with that. It seems to be over 1.12, so it's above the round figure. If you think I'm a bit hasty on that, you can let it run. If you're okay with it, maybe you can modify your stop to entry, and then at least you're covered. Okay. And you, Marnie, what price are you entering? Well, that's even better. Oh, then definitely you can bring it back to, well, that's even better. That's fine. Well done. Okay, yeah, you can bring it down to entry or just below if you like, cover your costs. But yeah, both can do that. That's fine. If can certainly, if you certainly can, you've got a slightly better price. Well done. Just give me a second. It's up to the guys. Okay, you should all receive it. Those who are part of the QT group. I just mentioned that about the QT group. Average daily, the average true range on the daily. So let's see, that can't use today. It's a work in motion. Don't forget to have to use yesterday's. So it would be something like this. That's about 50 pips. Is that what you're saying? I've never thought that before, so I'm learning something here. So stay with me, eh? Might be an idea. So yesterday's daily trading range was 53 pips. You'd modify your stock to 53 pips away now. Is that correct?
Incoming mail.
Okay, there's something to give some thoughts that mine has come up with. If you look at, clearly you don't use today's candle, always remember that. I've done that a few times, so you remember you can't use today's candle. It's not, it's still a work in progress, it's not completed. What she did was she looked at the true range, or average true range of the day, whatever you want to call it, the distance between the bottom and the top, basically, which is 50 odd pips. And then she put the stop loss where it is now, maybe a trading stop or whatever, about 50 odd pips away and let it run. Not a bad idea. If you like, look at that, want to back test it, you can. I've thought of that before. Not a bad idea. Okay. My the moment is that I think I got. I'm trying to get it wrong. I got in at 32. So the moment is about 40. It's just within that range. It's not far off itself. The where it is at the moment. I knew you meant that. Sorry, I type. My mind goes a lot quicker than my one finger typing. So that's my problem often is typo. So I got that. Yeah. Okay, that's a nice one. Okay. It's worked for you. Make sure in the shop. Not a bad idea. I remember that going forward. Thank you. See how that can do. That can be strange, but I think it's going to hold there. We'll see anyway. Okay, see how that works out. You know, any more recovery on these ones? Yes, doing okay. AUD CAD. Trying to make through, still don't want to chase it though. AUD CHF. Thing is that I think I had one the other day actually. I think it did okay. Where's the 200? No, I'm not sure I'll be chasing this one. Okay. That's one we talked about just now as a sell. 91.10. So it's about the same as before. I think a couple of guys joined it, so that's fine. This, oh yes, another point. Yeah. Remember we got when I was last here, just over a week ago, 10 days ago, whatever it was, we got us buy up CHF JPY at 150. Eventually did hit TP. Do you guys come right with that in the end? Yeah, it went well, that one, didn't it? And I think the company sent one out at 151 something or other laterally. And I think that hit TP as well. I don't know if anyone modified the TP and modified the stop loss and rode a bit further because it took out 154 in the end, quite a bit above the TP. Because that did go nicely, yeah. But I can't chase it now, just a reminder, have a look at it. No, I'm not confident on that one to buy it or sell it, to be honest. We can CHF. This looks like a possibility, but I wonder if we can get a better price up here somewhere. 20 pips away. Here's a possibility, I think, of sell. As I say, I'm still with the Swiss franc at the moment. I think that's a possibility if we can break through that resistance and sell. Maybe we should have got a little bit earlier, eh? Yeah, we missed that. What's the time now? 10:09. Maybe we should have got that just now. Maybe I missed that somehow. Happens, unfortunately. That would be nice to entry there. Let's see if it jumps back up again, but I think it's going to do that. No, it looks like it's not going to do that. Maybe we can chase it. Do you think it's a bit? Do you think we're being a bit jumping the gun a bit to chase it? There's a bit of resistance there. But I see a downside on this one. Any views on this one? Yeah, just want to need a bit of moral support here. Do we chase it now, or maybe we can get it, maybe we can bounce back to maybe something about 10, 15 pips back again? Not back here. We can do it. It's only 15 pips away, maybe a bit of. But shorter term charts is looking good, and it's definitely the momentum is definitely down. It's on the, we'll see how they save the EP. 15 pips, it's pushing it a bit, and that might work from the EGS. That's it. Look at those in the 15-minute lower, it bounce a bit, and it doesn't take out the previous one, so lower highs. Breakthrough here. So I do quite like this. What do you think? You leave alone for now. Everyone leave alone for now. I think we're maybe a bit over aggressive, but I do quite like it. Okay. Let's go. Okay, Marty, let's go. Where are you taking me? Okay. Anyone else want to support Marnie on that one? Anybody supporting it? No answer. Anybody supporting on this one? Very important you interact. It's an interaction forum here, remember? A low margin, fair enough. Yeah, I didn't get rid of nerves, to be honest. Yeah. Just for sell, Logan, yeah. Well, I've got it written down anyway. So just keep an eye on margins in it, okay. Okay. AUDNZD. No, I think that 50 is going to hold. So I think it's a sell, yeah. Well, clearly, because trade's been sent out on it. And quite frankly, look at the jump now. I think there'll be some profit taking that level, whatever happens. You might just reach that. You might just do that. So you how far away is that? So in about another 10 pips, there'll be some profit taking there. Remember, it's jumped already today, 150 pips. There's probably some profit taking somewhere around there. Now you should get a slightly better price if you want it. Use the same stop loss and TP. There you go. A much better risk reward there because you get a better price. It's only now 70 bucks a shot, 70 bucks a micro. If you want to take that there, yeah. But it's all written down, Logan. You should have received that. Put my contact details down. Don't forget, if you've got $2.5 grand and $50 or more, I can put you in my VIP group. Just let me know. You need the details now if you haven't already got them. It's a bit quiet today. It'll be quite the norm rate, yeah. Seems to be quite quiet at the moment. We're quickly looking down the prices there. LED JPY was one we did get out. But up a little bit. We've got to sell on this one, but not much for more or less even Stephen. $1. That didn't tell me much. I'm not sure I'll be buying the Aussie at the moment, but I'm not selling it either. About £1 might get a sell on this, so the dollar continues to hold. We'll see. I might give them the buy zone a dollar weakens come there. Bit quiet now, just looking around, a bit quiet on the fundamental front. What's happening today coming forward? The guards speaking tonight, for whatever that's worth. FOMC meeting minutes later on. Nothing particularly outstanding coming up. Okay, I'll copy and paste that for you. There you go, you've got the DXY as well. Euro US dollar, NZD cat did very good. It got the TP yesterday. Euro dollar, that didn't look too good. I think it was a buyout later on, coming in from last week, I think it was. But I thought it wasn't a bad idea, but obviously it came off. But at the moment, it's like that ship sailed, or what are we talking about? Technical damage. See what happens. I'm not sure I'll be chasing it now. But NZD, I wouldn't sure anyway, but NZD-CAD hit the TP, that was all. Yeah, I do know that. Yeah, I'll just stick so I didn't do the TR. But yeah, I do know. Eurodollar didn't do so good, but it clearly has set the NZD. I know the signals because obviously I would know that. Yeah. Okay. Any comments, guys? You've got the stuff printed there, etc. Just remember, anyone new there, how to save your charts. Don't forget, when you get a quiet moment, right click on the blank part of the chart, go to templates, and then save the template. Put your name in here, and then press save. So if you lose your charts for whatever reason, fat finger or whatever, right click, go to templates, and your save charts are down there, and they're up and running again. Don't forget that. And don't forget, if you need any information about stuff, margins or contract size or whatever, left click on instrument of choice, right click, left click, and specification. And that's how it's done. All the information is there. I assume you all know how to cut a position. You have to close it entirely. What I mean is, let's say you've got more than one micro and you want to bank part of your trade, let the other part run. You can do that. You don't have to close the entire trade. Does everybody know that? And if anybody doesn't, I'll quickly show them how. Just everybody know that. Well, you have to have a position size calculator. Just go to the live chat, technical support, they'll provide it. Well, you got the economic fundamentals now, anyway, so you save them, Logan, hopefully. Right, so you all know how to close part position. Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, anything else you want to discuss?
Good to have you back, mate.
Hi, Jen, how's it? Look. Yeah, don't forget, if you haven't got the calculator, live chat, ask for the technical support and they'll put it onto your computer for you, or laptop or whatever. Not your phone, don't have it for a phone. Okay, all got that? Any comments, guys? Anything I've seen? New, and there's a strategy I'd like to learn from you. You want to go for it, okay? Do you want to buy it? I'll do. You want to buy it? That would be a SL and CP. Okay. You're new, and there's a strategy I'd like to learn from you. New, and there's a strategy. So you're not quite clear that you're looking for a strategy to trade. I take it. I said that you place trades for either direction when there's news. Unfortunately, my group to explain strategy well. Okay, well, there's a couple of things involved here. There's fundamental, which is use the economic calendar I've shown you. Keep an idea what's happening economically around the world. That comes under fundamentals. And the technicals, the chart reading, what the buyers and sellers are doing. I based a lot of mine on support resistance and on the 50-day and 200-day moving averages and what's happening with the economic calendar. And I use my trade accordingly. I don't know how much knowledge you've got. Have you been doing any classes? Have you got platform training? Do you operate the platform? Is your account funded? That sort of thing. I don't know what that meant exactly. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he meant by that actually. Yeah. Okay. All I think is they're not going to put up with a very low oil price. As simple as that. I don't quite, there's terminology there. I'm not quite clear myself as well. But I think bottom line in English it means that they're not sure they'll with $100 a barrel. That's pushing it. I mean, as I said before, don't want to cripple the producers. Sorry, the buyers, the consumers. But at the same time, I think they'll put up with below 70. That's what I mean. Okay, as Ken said there, yeah, you have to, if you come to trading room, you need a funded account. You need to be on top of how to operate the platform. That's what we have platform trading for in the evenings, and a funded live account. And as I say, it's a couple of classes, you know, basics, you know, what a lot size is, you know, forex and CFDs, and then you need to have, in my opinion anyway, the blue line is a 50-day simple, and the 200 is the brown line there. So you put on the 200 and the 50-day simple, moving average charts. If you like the 10, which I do, that's a 10-day simple moving average. Like the 100, the black one's 100. So that's the 10, the 50, what's this called? Magenta's the 10, dark blue is the 50, the black one's 100, and the brown one's 200-day simple moving average. Put it on there and save it. But remember, it's a trading room. You need to have a couple of basics behind you before you come in, or you might get yourself confused. And of course, it's got to be funded. You can't expect to get assistance in an unfunded account. It's a two-way street in business. You good, Logan? I was worried about trend lines, to be honest, Logan. You don't put them in different places. Some people use line charts, some people use the wick on the candles, some people use the body on the candles. I often find trend lines are put in different places. I'd rather see support resistance bounce off the 200 and the 50 and use them as a filter for the buy, neutral or sell zone, and keep an eye on the economic calendar. I'm not against trend lines to use them, no doubt about it, but just be aware. Is because I say, if you put, I'll give you an example. You might put a trend line through the wick, or you might through here to here. Sorry, let's look here. You might use the wick, something like that, or you might use the body, something like that, slightly different, or you might use a line chart and use this. It's the same one here. See, they're all in different positions. So each one's got a different particular thinking on it. So it's useful, but be a bit wary of it. If you know, I hope you understand what I mean. Be aware of that differential. Do you understand what I mean? If everyone's put in the same place, it'd have a far more fulfilling. That's why I like the 250, because everybody uses it and everyone can see it, and it's self-fulfilling for that reason. But you might be following that you've got it in a different place to a lot of other people, and you're planning your strategy on that trend line, and it's not being reacted to because it's other people got in a different position. Does that make sense? Basically, yeah, exactly. You learn more as you go across, yeah. For me, a breakout is a high. See, this is a bit of a high here, right? That's fairly obvious and straightforward. You can't really, I mean, your 10-year-old can see that. It's a bit more in your face and obvious. So a breakout above there would be an indication of a buy. But you wouldn't be buying here because you don't know if it's going to break out or not. I think it's a high in the trend line result. That's my opinion anyway. Okay, sorry about the gravelly voice. I should be a bit better by next week, but I'm getting a lot better than I was yesterday, that's for sure. Well, I was definitely man down yesterday. So I should get better. That's more the point. Okay, right. That's any else? Any other suggestions going forward, Mark?
Hey, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this might be irrelevant, but do you know anything about Binance, and do you think it's something we should have in the future?
Binance, B-I-N-A-N-C-E.
Yes, mate. Yes, it looks like a crypto wallet or something.
It's to do with crypto, you're quite right. Now, I'm not really jack too much on crypto, a bit about it, I have to. But the bottom line with crypto is the fact that it's unregulated. So a lot of companies will have it. And if you do like that sort of thing, just Google a company that does trade it, and then you'll be fine there. But till it becomes regulated, I don't think we will be touching it. You've got no backup if you get misadvised by an unqualified person. Yes, I do use fib levels, Petro, very much so. Yeah, I mean, I can say go and buy, I don't know, Bitcoin, sell or whatever, and whether I'm licensed or not, or regulated or not, or even know what I'm talking about or not, you've got no recourse because it's regulated. Plus, I think as well that the Ethereum is a little bit less, so you can fit a bit of deposit, and there's quite a bit of discrepancy between different platforms, different prices, and reaction to it. So the other thing is you do need to have a bit more time. Don't think many people will be trading crypto in small amounts of money. You need at least 5 figures, probably more.
Okay, thank you very much, Mitch.
It's up to you. Some people like it if you know a bit about it. Some people done very well out of it. There are platforms that clearly trade it. It's just that we don't have it here. Simple as that. But if it gets regulated, I'll get more involved with it. Okay, good. Fibs, yeah, very much. I use Fibs for retracement to get it into the buy again, or for extension to find a target. Yeah. I don't use it much for SL, to be honest. I don't use it for stop loss. I use it for an entry or a target. In other words, I'm using extension because there's no real history of where the previous high was. I use a Fibonacci extension to aim at as a target, or when to enter on a retracement. But I don't really use a Fibonacci as a stop loss. I'm not saying it's wrong. Some people do. I personally don't. Yeah, I'm still wondering what's happening there. I think a lot depends on what's going to happen. Not what's going to happen. They're going to raise the debt level. But the point is, when that news is released, they're going to raise the debt ceiling, which they will do. I think that will have a marked effect. Until that, I think probably best to steer away from the NAS. We should get a result on that coming up at the end of the month anyway, the debt ceiling increase. In the US, that is. But at the moment, I'd be a little bit wary of the NAS at the moment. On the NAS, yeah, if you got in there, I would have been quite more happier. But now the ship has sailed, correct. Can see ship has popped up a little bit. The sell. Some guys still might want to join it. Can do if you want. Might get back up here anyway, who knows? Yeah, okay, no problem. CFD's the moment. A touch of it, actually. Very much so. I agree on that one, really. Blockchain, it looks like the way forward. The problem is at the moment, it's a way to circumvent current currency restrictions in the country. And the other two, of course, is money laundering, because you don't need money laundering. You can't do anything about it. I can ship money wherever I want around the world. Clean money, dirty money, doesn't matter. It's all virtual out there. So if I've just roped in a few million selling drugs and trafficking and goodness knows what over in South Africa, it's in the cloud there. I can just move wherever I want, just take the money wherever I want. And then they're back to find some way to how to regulate that. Yeah, I think so. That's why I'm looking for a sell on the Cat C of Sheffield. So CFDs, I don't really know. Not really. I'm a bit wary of the markets, the share market at the moment, to be honest. I think it could get a jump either direction depending on this debt ceiling result.
Yes, Roger. No, I tend to agree because yesterday or the day before, all the tech shares was up, and yesterday everything closed down again. So it seems that until such time that there's not better direction on the negotiations with the debt ceiling, it's tit for tat.
Yeah, in a nutshell, exactly what I'm thinking. So exactly. I think just rather leave well alone at the moment. That includes even the indices. Leave well alone at the moment, and then until we get some. Once the news out of the way, we can declare a direction. Almost certainly, in my opinion, we still sell the rally. I cannot see we're out of this problem at the moment, but we shall see. But with a government that's in the US, I'm talking about, that still seems to think that they can spend willy-nilly on nice vote-catching popular programs which are not financially justifiable. I cannot see anything more than maybe more downside. So that's my particular take. Because remember, people don't always think logically with their heads, and when it comes to money, they often think with more of their emotions, and they forget it's got to come from somewhere. And debt is not the answer. A lot of you guys have probably found out to your cost as well.
Yeah, but as long as there's people or governments willing to print the money, it seems not to be an issue if it's not backed up by solid gold or something like that.
Absolutely, they can get away with it, and they've been getting away with so long that some others couldn't. Remember, their currency is votes. Your currency is money, theirs is votes. All the senators, they're all very wealthy, all multi-millionaires. Their currency is power, and they get that power through getting elected. And how to get that election, they're going to do things that voters like, are popular. In other words, give them something. They don't usually question where it comes from. As long as they're getting it, they don't really care. So that is going to be always, that's why I get all this sort of political infighting on it. And that's what's happening at the moment. And they're quite right. Until it has to be backed up by something, they'll just print more. Absolutely. And they're just going to continue, I agree. There's no strong enough leaders out there to tackle it. And they have to be incredibly strong in the West, because the West have a very powerful media all supporting the cause for them. So anyone who goes against it is going to look what happened to Trump, will be absolutely assassinated verbally in the press, you know, if they even think of going against him. That's been the problem over here. Ramaphosa, unfortunately, hasn't been up to the job. He could not go up against the swamp, the South African swamp. You know, the swamp in Wall Street swamp. This is the South African swamp.
We call it cancer.
ENSA.
Yeah, cancer. Just put a CA in front, a C in front, and an ER at the back.
Must have been
The
cancer.
logo.
Okay, I get you now. Yeah.
But Roger, it seems that the market really didn't like the CPI of Britain, because the FTSE is down quite a bit.
Let me check it. Actually, I didn't check FTSE. I checked the CPI. Have I got it up here somewhere? Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I just think it wasn't as inflation as expected. I think that's probably the reaction to it. But it's out now. Yeah. Before I do that, so answer that gold, stick for it. I don't see downside momentum. I think we could get some upside. I'm not that convinced of it. Sideways movement last check with it now. A little bit of upside since we spoke this morning. I do see, I'm more in favor of upside than downside, but to me, not enough confirmations, too many fundamental balls in the air, as per normal, for me to be confident enough to buy it as yet. But I'd rather look for upside than downside at the moment, but that could change rapidly. I think at the moment, leave gold alone. And GBP NZD, Could get some downside, yeah. A lot of that movement up there was simply because more a weaker New Zealand dollar than a stronger pound, to be honest. Could get some, but not enough to justify. I think might be some profit taking after a big move of over 400 pips today. It's only taken 11 hours all today. I think it might be some profit taking, but I'm not sure I've got enough confirmation to exercise a short on the possibility of profit taking. We don't know the extent of that profit taking. And I think we might leave that alone for the moment. Okay. Of course, it's MFP next week, isn't it? No, yeah, that should be the week after, something like that, is the CPI, yeah. Okay, more of that going forward. Okay, guys, that's about it, I think. Yeah, so catch you guys tomorrow then, and go well. I hope you all enjoyed it. Got a couple of trades out to see how they go. Just have a quick check we finally cut off. What price do we get? ANA, wrong one. Not much, a bit quiet. I think it's going to hold. CAD CHF up a little bit. I think it's going to hold. Still worth joining if you haven't joined it. I'm hoping to.
We're still not having the afternoon session, right?
No, that's been cancelled. Yeah.
Sharp.
So we'll see how those check them in tomorrow. Okay, guys. Catch you. I'll try to. But they reckon 2 weeks ago completely out of the system. It's been only a few days now, but I'm always feeling on the mend. You know, my voice might not sound like it. Okay, cheers, guys, and yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you, Cecil. Thanks very much, mate. Good stuff, Ongs and company. Catch you tomorrow. Thank you, Andy.